Hello and welcome to Backstage with Gallery Theater. I'm Debbie Harmon Ferry, one of the board members at Gallery, and we just want to give you an opportunity to get to know some of the people who make Gallery work, what they do, what they like about it, how they came to find us. So this is just an opportunity while the theater is not able to do large productions to maybe get to know the Gallery Theater family a little bit better. And we thought what better place to start than with our theater manager, Seth Renne. So Seth, welcome.
Hi. Thanks for
Hi, thanks for being here. Obviously, those of us that have been around Gallery for a long time and done productions know you, but not everybody knows you. Probably there are a lot of people that haven't worked with you directly on a show or audience members, and we wanted to take this opportunity to get to know you a little bit better. So,
cool.
yeah. What is your role with Gallery? What is your involvement? What kinds of things do you do there?
Um, so I like to say that I work and volunteer at Gallery pretty much full time. Uh, I do 20 hours plus a week as the manager of the theater, and that is a paid position. But then I also volunteer for our play selection committee. I volunteer as a director, as an actor, as a technician, and pretty much whatever is needed.
Mhm. Excellent. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. Okay, wonderful. So you are one of the very few paid staff at Gallery. We don't have a lot
Yes.
of them, and that is ostensibly a half-time role. Obviously, that changes off and on. So what do you do as theater manager? What kind of would a day look like, or a week look like, or what sort of things fall to you as terms of responsibilities?
So it really varies throughout the year. The basic job is that I am in charge of the day-to-day operations of the theater. So I will supervise the other staff members, and that's kind of the base level, always doing that. Depending on the time of year, I am getting our membership drive ready. I'm licensing all of the shows for the next season. I'm going after show sponsors and ad revenue. I'm doing all of the administrative work, and then a lot of fun stuff also. Random weird projects that pop up. I get to go fix toilets and all that stuff too.
The joys of community theater.
It's very glamorous.
And you work with a lot of volunteers.
Yes.
And whenever there's a show going on, I know you meet up front with directors.
Yep, I'll do a pre-production meeting with each director before the show starts. We go over an entire calendar for their entire production, everything from when they need to get me their cast list so that we can publicize that, to making sure that their strike is complete at the end of the show.
Fantastic. And how long have you served as manager at Gallery?
I started in September of 2014. So that's coming on 6 years.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, neat. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, the last few months have looked a little different.
A little different.
What kinds of things are you able to do during this COVID time help keep the theater going?
So I'm still trying to get the sponsors that we can coming in, memberships. So I spend time in the office still doing the paperwork that is coming through, paying bills. That's still happening. But then I'm also doing some time at my house and working on our quarantine cabaret and trying to find other ways and opportunities for us to stay engaged with our patrons and community.
Mhm. Now, I think that actually one of our projects took place during the time that we've been shut down or stay at home order for COVID. There have been
Mhm.
some improvements to the theater that you were there to help oversee.
Yeah, we had two different projects happen at the theater while this shutdown's been going on. We had a new fire alarm panel put in so that we are current and up to date with the latest technology for our security of the building. And then we also had new front doors installed, and they're
Excellent.
beautiful.
They are beautiful. We can't wait for people to come back through those. And then I think you didn't mention, now if I'm wrong, correct me, but our social media presence, is a lot of that you and your role?
Yes, I do 90% of the social media stuff. I do have I like to call her my social media millennial, Nicole Holmes, and she helps me with some stuff, but 90% of the social media you see, I will be creating imagery to put up on our Facebook and uh, Instagram and running all of those different platforms
Wonderful. And so
and
things
our
like
website.
Right, that's what I was going to say. Things like the marketing, our website newsletter, is that you also?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thanks for keeping us all connected.
It's a lot. I do a
It
lot.
is good. And what about that role do you find most rewarding or most satisfying?
Um, the thing that I love the most about it is that whether I'm intimately involved in a production or just doing the manager side of it, I get to be involved in every show that we do. I have a hand in something to do with it. Um, I go to the first rehearsal for every show and hand out all the paperwork and get all the contracts and everything signed. And I go to strike for every show and help make sure that everything's done and put away. And I like to pop in at rehearsals every once in a while and just be known and be seen, so that people have a good experience, and that if something is not going well for them, that they have a face to put to who they can go talk to.
Great, thank you. And how about the other side of that coin? What do you find challenging about your role as theater manager?
There's a lot to do. Sometimes depending on the time of year, usually the end of the year is a very, very busy time for us with a membership drive and trying to get all of the marketing materials for the next year done and wrapping up a season. So sometimes it's just the amount of stuff that I have to get done and the limited time that we have to do it.
That makes sense. Um, okay, how about, so that's a lot to do with your sort of the position you have at the theater
Mhm.
that's not volunteer. In terms of some of your volunteer roles, you mentioned the play selection committee. Can you
Mhm.
talk just a little bit about what that is and what that committee does?
Yeah, so Play Selection is a group of usually about 7 people, and we start in September so let's say we've just completed a season, figuring out what 2021 will look like. So in September of this year, we are going to start looking at stuff for 2022. So we're always about a year and a half ahead of where we're physically at. And we will spend a couple months going through and reading tons and tons of scripts and getting together every other week and talking about what we read, what we liked, what we didn't like, and start trying to find the shows that speak to us that we want to present to our community. And then crafting the season as a whole to then present to the board for approval.
And is it typically a case of a director comes to you and says, here's a show I really want to do. Can you fit it in the season? Or does the committee find a show they would like to see done and then they try and find a director? How does that work?
We have both. So people who have directed for us in the past, we reach out to at the beginning and just say, hey, the committee is getting together. If you have something you would like us to look at, please send it to us. And then we'll start looking at those as well as other things. And if we read a script that we think, oh, this one, Debbie would be really good to direct this show, this feels like something she would do, we then can also approach you and say, hey, we have this script. Would you mind taking a look at it? We'd like to look at it for the next year.
Great. Okay, thanks. Super. What are some of the big factors that you guys would discuss or think about when selecting shows for the season?
We try to find a nice, well-rounded season. That's the important part. We want to find those big family shows. We want to find small, intimate things. We try to find at least a show a year that we can have a large amount of our youth performers in. We try to find some big names that people are going to recognize because those always seem to sell a little bit better. And we try to find the small, unknown show that is like The God Game or Swimming in the Shallows that can really feed that artistic side and make us feel really, special and important.
Great, excellent. Now, you've been doing some of these things for, you said, around 6 years or so, but
Hmm.
clearly you've been around gallery for longer than that. Can
Yes.
you remember what your earliest experience with gallery was?
My first experience with gallery was being in the ensemble of Oliver in 1995.
Fantastic. So that is, what is that?
A long time.
A long time
95,
ago. 25 years
2005,
ago?
25 years ago.
Wow. Okay, that's good longevity. And you were an actor in that show.
Mhm.
What are some of the roles, maybe not that long ago, but some of the roles that you remember in terms of your acting experiences at Gallery? What
Oh,
people might know you from, or what?
Seymour in Little Shop of Horrors, Roger Debris in The Producers. Um, I know there's more, and I'm blanking on them. I've been in a lot of shows.
Yes,
Guy
absolutely.
in Courtroom in To Kill a Mockingbird.
In Sweeney Todd, who were you in
Oh
Sweeney
yeah, Anthony Sweeney
Todd?
Todd, the
Excellent.
sailor.
So lots of musicals, but not all musicals.
Yeah, I was Ed in You Can't Take It With You in the arena. Last year I did mostly arena shows actually. Frank Finger in It's Only a Play. Uh, Alf in Peter and the Starcatcher.
Right. Excellent. And in addition to being on stage, you also have a number of directing credits.
Yes.
Can you tell us what a few of those are? What are some of the shows you directed?
I've directed Steel Magnolias in 2006. I directed The Sound of Music in 2009. The Music Man, The Mystery of Edwin Drood, Beauty and the Beast, Rabbit Hole, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
A
I know
lot of
there's
them.
more. Wizard of
No, that's,
Oz. I did The Wizard of
oh yeah,
Oz.
that's right. Excellent. And do you have a favorite type of volunteering at Gallery? I mean, is there something you like doing more than another, or?
It's all everything that you do just feeds a different part of you. Like acting is wonderful, and I love being able to like dive into a character like that. But when you're directing, you're looking at that whole picture, and that's really really cool. And even I've costume designed, and that's a lot of fun.
Neat. Excellent. And what are maybe a couple of skills that you think you've learned from your gallery experiences throughout the years?
Um, a lot. I've learned a lot more about power tools than I ever did before gallery. I can change drill bits out really easily now, and look at the different types of them and know what kind of drill bit I need. Uh, Sewing skills. I can put buttons on things really really well now. Life skills really.
Good, excellent. Um, what do you find most rewarding in general about being a part of gallery?
I think the sense of community that we have and the sense of family that we have. Um, Gallery is a very, very special place where people get an opportunity to meet people they may probably would not have been associated with without it. Um, Come together, work hard as a team to put something really, really beautiful together. And the bonds that we make are they last for years. I met you about 3 months after I did my return show in 2004. I was in Footloose, and Debbie was very very pregnant with her son at the time, and I met her while she was cleaning the seats in the main stage, and I was getting ready to do a show, and we've been fast friends for 20 years now.
Pretty close to
Close
it. Yep, yep.
16, something like that.
Yeah, over 16 years. That's great. Wonderful. And what about people that maybe have wanted to get more involved with gallery, but just aren't quite sure? What advice or what words would you have for them?
Make it known that you want to volunteer, and we have something you can do. Uh, you can get on the volunteer list and just start signing up to be an usher, and that's a great way to meet people and become known and get involved in everything. I think of like people like Beth Statz, who started at the theater as a mom bringing her son to an audition, and the year before last was named one of our volunteer of the years.
And does a little of everything.
Yeah.
And no training required. We'll train you.
Yeah, absolutely. I will probably be the one training you.
And you're harmless, huh?
I'm really nice.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Seth. I appreciate your taking the time to talk with me and let people get to know you a little bit better. Like you said, there's a real sense of community, and we hope that through doing these interviews, people will get a feeling for that and maybe get to know our community a little bit better. So what better
Absolutely.
way to start than with our manager?
Come on down. We'd love to have you.
We hope we can have him back soon. Thanks so much, Seth. I appreciate your joining me tonight.
Of course. Thanks for having me.